Hello travellers, I'm Colonel Failure, and everyone's gone to the Rapture. Well, if only that were true. Actually, very few people went to the Rapture, which is why I have sold the Chet vacant back to the depot in order to recoup some cash. Yes, the end times are upon us, friends. We are now attempting to replace carriages, while at the same time attempting to stay solvent in any fashion at all. Mere moments ago, I was the best part of 600 grand in debt, and then I sold a train, and then we managed to make some of that back again. If we have a look at the old Profitron here, we're up $500,000 this year, but that's because I did sell a train there. We've bought 300 grand's worth of coaches so far, and it ain't going to end there. No siree, Bob. No, we've got quite a long way to go, which is a shame. Now, the good news is that having sold Chet, Cindy is actually packing in a couple more passengers. It's not what you might call an extensive number of passengers, but it is a little better than it was before. Actually, looking at the track here, look how far it winds uphill. What idiot decided this was a clever route to do? I did. Okay, well, that was short and sweet. You kept that to yourself. Anyway, today's objective is I want to hook up, wait for it, shipping. Yeah, I want to hook up shipping somewhere on the islands that are out there in the mist of time and space, and bring them into Rapture, because that might give me a couple more passengers. And putting aside the fact that I'm going to need to wait a little while till I've got some money, I'm not wholly certain I'm going to be able to put a port in here. So it's high adventure all round. Now then, rather than immediately skip forward to a point where I've got some cash in the bank, and it will happen, it's just going to take a little while to get there, really. There should be, if I can get all of the coaches replaced fast enough, there should be a temporary golden age where the running cost has dropped, but the passenger capacity is up. So there should be a brief period of time where profit is up quite respectably, particularly if I can get Rapture to actually do anything worthwhile. But rather than just skip to that, I decided, well, let's measure up a little, shall we, and see if there is anywhere we can actually put a port in. Now, before I do that, I just want to show you, and I have to do this carefully because I've already crashed the game a couple of times trying this. This is the flex port. Now, the flex port, if it decides to be nice to me, oh, it doesn't feel like it's been nice, does it? Oh, there we go. The flex port is ruddy enormous. I'm going to just leave it hanging out in the sea at the moment. Now, the main thing about the flex port, which I will definitely use if I can, is that you can use it to sell resources. But you sell them for flex bucks. I don't know, I didn't make the thing. Yeah, you sell it for flex bucks, and then you can use those flex bucks to buy other resources or something like that. I'll obviously look into it should I be able to deploy the thing. As you can see, on perfectly flat water, it's costing 17 million quid to deploy. So it's not anything that's going to be happening anytime soon. So we'll just leave that alone. But yeah, we're going to set up a passenger dock, port, harbour. Yes, any of those, if we can. There you go. There's one, except the docks are out of navigable water. You have got this the right way around, haven't you, Tiger? And it's an important detail. Yeah, you put the road on that bit. Docks outside. This is too shallow. Okay, right. Well, there'll be somewhere. If it's anywhere around here, that would be absolutely dandy. No, not quite. No, we might need to flatten somewhere. But as long as we can get the pointy bit into the wet stuff. But the wet stuff might be a bit too shallow. In which case, this is more than just a minor problem. This is quite a significant problem for the whole shebang, because we are going to need to ship some goods at some point. You know, it's a fairly minor detail, but it is pretty salient to the whole endeavour that we've got going on. Anyone at all? You don't. I mean, we might be barking up the wrong tree trying to plunk it in here. Let's try over here. I want to keep it close to Rapture. That's the thing. And I'm not talking about its state of mind, neither. Oh, hold on. That was just unable to align terrain. Oh, I bet I can make the terrain work. I bet I can make that work. As long as the pointy bit is in deep enough water, we can make that work. It's going to be flaming expensive. There we go. Right there, it will fit there. 400 grand. Not insignificant, but I do have how much loan have I got left? 1.5 million. 1.5 million in loan. So that's the kind of thing that I could invest in. Now I'm not going to take my loan out because until I reach a period of solvency again, not paying 135 grand a year in interest is probably a good idea. But you can see that there is some reason, some pause, moment, effort for hope, because we made 1.22 million just on regular income, and we only spent, I'm using air quotes for only there, we only spent 1.08 million. So we are making pretty much 200 grand in operating profit, let's say, on an annual basis. Of course, we've just thrown 128 grand down the pan there, so we've got to earn that back first. So that's 50% on a good day of our annual budget, and then we're trying to replace everything at the same time, and then we're running an unprofitable train service. That's a bit of a disaster, isn't it? Let's see how unprofitable. 115k. So if I could flog that. Actually, why is Toon Elmo losing me money? Previously, that was flipping profitable. Oh no, you were thinking of Arc Iron. Toon Elmo hasn't hit profitability yet. Oh well, if it does, or I should say, when it does, then there is a massive amount of upside to be had there. And it's, I mean, 23 of 32, it's definitely going in the right direction. The only downside, of course, being that it's got a finite amount of time before it starts to really ramp up the costs. Details. But all these ones that say 16 years, yeah, their expiry date is 15 years, so they're all waiting for buses to be replaced, which is something of a drag. I think it's possibly going to take me about 3 or 4 years to reach a point of happy-go-luckiness again. Anyway, now, we found a place in Rapture where I've completely forgotten where it was, but a place exists near Rapture where we can have a port. So now we need to go to somewhere else that is viable that can also have a port. And what I was originally intending, and I'm pretty sure it's this way, there you go, look. What I was originally intending was to do it out near Atlantis. Not for any other reason than Atlantis and El Dorado's continuing merger is going to work in my favour when it comes to actually putting in some passengers. Now, I've had reports from the brave, bold, beautiful people. There you go, it'll fit there, look, piece of cake. The brave, bold, beautiful people who are also tackling this particular save, who have reported that actually a passenger line or two will make you some money. Yes, I find that as hard to believe as you do, but apparently that is the case. Oh, and I could maybe put the shipyard. I could put it on this little fantasy island here. Give it a twizzle. There you go. Yeah, 14 grand. In fact, you can get it even lower than that. Well, there you go. So we can get the. That's lovely. I mean, it's rather inaccessible for anybody who needs to work there, but overall, it really is charming. Right, there you go. So that's the notion, is we'll go Atlantis. There you go, cancel that. It doesn't like it when it has to turn the screen red. We will go at... really? You think? Okay, well, road vehicle 1 should be replaced. Yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, it won't be the last time we see those messages. No, it won't. Might be the last time you see those messages for a little while, because I'm not going to make you sit through that. So there we go. We're going to try, and it's a long route, so I might need more than one ship, which means more expense, but it's a good long route. You've got a nice bit of bridge to go under there. Just make sure that that's saleable. Yep. Yeah, okay, so... nice long route from there to here, I think that there's some bucks in that, you know. Right, I shall now play forward. It's April the 24th, 1867. I shall now play forward until the point where I've got some cash. I may be sometime. Well, okay, I'm going to come back in here. Now, I've temporarily turned off the 4 times time mod there because I figured there was absolutely no sense in me waiting around that long. So I saved the game, went out to the intro, loaded it back up, fired it back up, all of that business, right? Here's the problem. Here are some among the vehicles that are the problematic. So if you see the age here, and I hope you can make it out, if you see the age in red, then that's not good news. We get these pop-ups constantly. As you can see, 21 years. They're already starting to run quite expensive, and you can see that some of the commuter iron forges running with no passengers. Waste of time. Yes, you see that very few of these are actually still in the green, but I'm reluctant to retire them from service because as soon as they can be replaced, everything becomes happy again. So we come back down all the way to 15 years, and then we're into the ones that are still the right age. Like, for example, the Arkham to Ironforge train, which is making $100,000 a year. It's largely down to this train that we're still alive at all. And then you continue downwards, and then you get into some of the new stuff, and you'll spot it as soon as you spot it. Here we go. 1 of 5, I hear you say. Yes, indeed. The Oblaissant has made itself visible to us. Here it is. Elegant little steam wagon carriage. Oh, hold on. What have we got here? No, we don't need those. No, we're not into cargo at the current time because we're skint at the current time. So there is that. We're particularly skint at 150 grand in debt, but that's just because we paid out 130 in interest. We made 60,000 profit last year after paying for 70 grand's worth of new vehicles. That's okay, were it not for the fact that we were also significantly adding. What do we do there? 1,087,000 versus 1,106,000. So we're going up in running costs by about 20,000 a year. Lovely. Meanwhile, we had a nice jump here from 1.35 million to 144, then 145. We'll possibly go a little further than that this year, but it's not going to be enough to offset an increase of 20,000 in running costs. Now, I've been here before. Now, I've not been here in a recent series. I think you're probably going back 18 months or more since I last had to sell everything. We're ignoring that time that I bought $500 million worth of flipping freight trains and slung them up the main line, because that was just, irrational behaviour. But we're not a million miles away from it. We may yet decide that the shrewd thing to do is to sell every wagon that is over age, and then rebuild the fortress from the ground up. The issue on that front is how many lines are going to be completely out of everything at that point, and how many won't be. Now, if we look at our overall kind of route balance here, you'll see that these 2 Gen 1 lines are actually doing quite nicely. Toon Elmo isn't yet running full, but it's already in profit, so that's a decent sign. At the other end of the equation, Zion Rapture, should have known really, is still running at a loss, but the numbers are starting to come up, and that's an improvement. It's not a good enough improvement, but then we've only got a few that are actually costing us money. I mean, we could close all of these lines down, which is a bad idea, and then maybe everything will just be happy again. Anyway, I'm going to rock it forward a little bit further until a decision needs to be made. You've only missed 5 years so far. That's all right. We're in the rubbish part of the steam age, where the steam engines are all really slow and what have you. We'll be back in business by the time the good bit of the steam age rolls around. Oh, well, before you decide to comment on that, on the subject, I'm aware that mixing oblaissants and stagecoaches on the same route means they all earn the same as the stagecoach. That could be a fix as well. We'll see. Okay, so I let it roll to the end of the year, and the news. Hold on, let's slow it down. Let's not have this thing moving at warp speed while I narrate the problems that we are currently facing. Yeah, we let it roll to the end of the year. Now, we bought 114 grand's worth of new vehicles, ended up making 40,000 loss last year, and there it is again. See, another 20 grand extra running cost. So I've made an executive decision. I'm maxing the loan. Because if I can't get all of these vehicles replaced pronto, it's just going to spiral out of control. By maxing the loan, I'm going to pay an extra $21,000 a year in interest. Okay, actually, no, it's more than that, $22,500, because one chunk of loan is $7,500 in damage every year. Now, I'm hoping that will clear all of the vehicles that I still have to replace. They flipping better do. At which point we'll have some routes that are nothing but these slightly speedier, higher capacity chaps, which will mean, hopefully, a bit more money coming in. The aim here is that the amount coming in is more than 22.5 grand. And when you consider that by the end of this year, my running costs will have increased by 22.5 grand, maybe I'm on a winner. The other thing that I've observed, and this is just an in-town route, I think. Yeah, it's the Iron Forge commuter. Is he wastes an awful lot of time doing a bit of a turnaround up here. So were one so inclined, and one is so inclined. Incidentally, the likelihood we get to ships today, just forget it. It is almost certainly not going to happen. But here we go. This is what I'm going to do instead. Is where you've got a ridiculous turnaround like that. If you put just a straightforward busso stoppo regularo here in, which has some turning around capability built into it, you save a bit of time, and in the process, one would assume you'd make a little bit more money. I don't know, but it's worth a shot. Surely. How much have we spent so far? I just spent 15 grand on a bus stop. That's nice. $500,000 on new buses so far. What's the damage still look like? Let's have a look. 23 well, yeah, there's a page worth. There's still a lot. I don't think we're going to clear through all of them. Anyway, I'm going to let it roll forward some more, and we'll find out. Okay, time has advanced again. We're now 9 years ahead of where we were previously, which is maybe just a smidge longer than I'd originally anticipated. However, I'm onto a bit of a winner as far as the scheme is concerned. So what I'm currently working on, initially I got rid of a handful, probably 4 or 5 coaches from lines that were almost exclusively on the newfangled Oblaissant. Ironically, Rapture, tiny as it may be, is actually making profit with its one wagon. Actually, what a good idea here would be to upgrade that. Let's make you a new one there and get it moving, because even if it doesn't make as much money, it can carry more passengers and it will do it quicker, which is a good thing. But yes, what I've been looking to do, and this has worked out well on the Arkham Hogsmeade line, is I've replaced everything with Oblaissants, and that's now making 42 grand profit a year. All right, 38 grand. Be picky, see if I care. But I'm trying to do that with other routes now, so you'll see that we are sitting in a profitable situation somewhat. Last year, we made 1.53, which is a new high score, and it only cost us 109. So that golden age I was talking about has definitely happened, and the extra 22.5 grand we're paying in interest is offset by the money that we're bringing in. You'll see that we're in July, and it's a good sign that we hit profit then, because if you think about it, the front end of the year is front loaded with 150 grand in debt that you don't need. So look, you see, numbers are pointing in the right direction. Every month when we pay out our running costs, things get a little bit worse. but it can't be helped. So what I'm doing is I'm starting at the top of the list, obviously not the train, but for everything else, and I'm aiming to replace all of these lines here with Aubusson dedicated lines. That way, I don't need to finish that, do I? You can see exactly what I'm driving at there. How much to replace the rest of those? Okay, yep, that's 8 brand new steam-powered effigies. They're only 2 kilometres an hour faster, but they carry a quarter, so 25% more passengers. A little bit faster with more passengers, and I would imagine not only are they a little bit faster, I've not looked it up, but they've also got a little bit more grunt when it comes to getting uphill. And on a map like this, that's a good thing. So hopefully, if I tweak a few more of these, you'll see now, I mean, you know, Toon Elmo suddenly is starting to do 75 grand. Never mind. Every time I'm about to sing your praises, you drop me right in it by going, I don't think so. There we go. Right, 95k profit last year, spent 230. So that's great. Actually, we'll call it 200 because we got 30 back in cash in. So that makes 295. So best part of 300 grand in. That we can work with. Now, the real challenge is going to be making sure that whatever it is that I build next, I think we might make ships wait for a little while. Whatever it is we build next has to be profitable pretty much immediately. And the amount that it brings in needs to be significant. Now, a couple of you have said, well, why don't you hook up a couple of your train lines so you've got them linked together, and that way you could run multiple trains down them. And we all know already that single point to point is not the best way to make cash. 3 stations in a line is a far superior way to make more money. So I might do that, but it's a question of finding the right location for that. We're not going to get to it today, just so you know. I had hoped that we'd do a project today, but the project we're doing today is remaining solvent. There you go, an episode of Solvency Incorporate. Basically, while I've been skipping forward and whatnot, I've basically just been looking at numbers moving ever so slightly. Hold on, age 26 years. Have we got an old one in here somewhere? Well, I don't know. It just disappeared. No, it's here. No, wait. Don't let it get away from you. Alco MCO. There you go. That's the fella. What have we got on here? We've got a 26-year-old coach. Bad news for you, fella. Get sold. Right, and then the rest of you lot, get replaced. 71 grand, can afford it, let's do it. Now, I mean, that's replacing stuff that's already been replaced, but you do get a better, you get a better refund on those than something that's a little bit older. The good news is that ever since sinking a massive amount in to get stuff replaced, we've actually been bringing in enough that I've been able to do £250,000 worth of replacement every year. And this is the problem. This is why I do not usually go hog wild on simply carting up everything to begin with, because when you get to that point that you have to replace them all because they're ancient, you end up going in a vicious cycle where you honestly don't make enough progress. Town Asgard. How many have you got? You've got 3 and 3. All right. Well, you can get replaced. 59. I've got it. You can have it. There you go. That's all good. That's all solid behaviour. That is. Hey, look, there we go. Look, we're 4 episodes, 5 episodes, 4 episodes, 5 episodes. We're some episodes into the series now, and this is the first one where absolutely nothing's happened. Can I make a steam tram happen quickly today? No. I think what we need to do here, I want to get steam trams deployed because I like them, and actually, if they've got the speed, I don't know how I'd look that up without having to place a tram depot. I suspect they do, but a steam tram as a replacement for one of these intercity routes might work really well. And if it does, what we want to do is find some that are closer. You know where to do it. I know where. You know where to do it. We know where to do it. It's flipping El Dorado, Atlantis. I mean, they are basically the same town. It's all the way over here. There we go. Now then, we could replace this route quite happily, and we could probably stick, I don't know, what's my catchment look like? So we catch up to there, and you catch up to there. We could stick another stop in the middle and run a steam tram up there. Oh, that'd be fun. And okay, right. Well, I'll tell you what. Look, let's try and make that happen. I said we weren't going to make anything happen, but we're going to try and make something happen. Tram Track, yes. Okay. And then you want to make sure that you're using the right kind of road. So it's going to be a bit of town road. I think we might try for medium, because we're going to be going faster than 20 kilometres an hour if we play our cards right. There we go. Bit of Tram Track. Okay, this is relatively inexpensive to upgrade. That's good news. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, that's super duper. There we go. Yeah. And I've got 129 grand in the bank. Pause. Don't let anything upgrade without my say-so. Go on, you'll do it. There you go. We'll go all the way around the block, so they've got the option to do a more leisurely turnaround there. Okay, still got 100 grand in the bank. This has got potential. All right. Hello, tram lovers. I have not forsaken you. And we'll do one more there. Right. Now, if we stick an extra stop in the middle, where did you say that first one had catchment to? It's worth bisecting it exactly. Okay, so we got there and here. So pretty much around there should do the job. Now, there's not a huge number of people that live there, but it all counts. Or does it? By running shorter, are we going to harm our profitability? Yes, you are. Leave it alone. Okay, all right. You'll make more money just running point to point on that. Okay, so next trick, I need to leave that really. I don't suppose you can upgrade those, can you? I've never seen it. Oh, hold on. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Never mind. You could do a straight replacement. You've got another depot over there, so you can go flog all your buses over there. All right, okay, yep. Let's stick it in here. Yeah, kill it. And then go get me a fresh one of those, except one of these. Now, don't incur additional expenses, please. We'll put the catenary in anyway, because at some point we'll probably run electric down here. Maybe we run that instead of any kind of train service at all. I know we were talking about train service previously, but maybe we don't need one. Right. Okay. So now we take. Well, hold on. Now we can see if the trams go any faster. I hope they do. Steam tram 20 kilometers an hour. Yes. Horse trolley 20. Horse tram 15. Boo. That's steam tram all the way, Gov. 7 passengers. Come on. Now I know these ran in Vienna, but this place looks a bit like Vienna if you squint at it and it's dark. Right. Okay. So let's grab these clowns. Atlantis Eldorado. Well, no, we'll do this from here. It'll save us a bit of time. No. What? Intercity, yes. Atlan, Eldo. We're sorting by name. What am I doing wrong? We're sorting by name. Where's it gone? Okay, does it think it's a tram route already? It thinks it's a tram route. Hello, we're trams. You look nothing like trams, you Burks. Go and get yourselves sold. Right. And then we'll replace them with, we had quite a few on there, didn't we? Let's go as many as I can afford. 3. Ooh, yeah. Oh, feel the riches. Shut up. Right, okay, let's try that. Accelerate. And then we'll keep plumbing in more as we pass every 30 grand mark. And hopefully this will yield some additional prosperity. Now, I don't think this is a bacon saver, not even remotely. But I do think that it means that we got something done today, and therefore you're not going to be too crestfallen about the fact that this was an episode of just watching some numbers gradually change. And if you're still disappointed after that, I can't help you. Right, ready? When I see 30 grand, I'm buying one. When I see 30k, we might as well call this menu up as well and have a look and see what's happening. Right, we've spent... No, hold on, we've got enough. Right, buy one. Right, you, get to work. There you go. I need all of you moderately working. This lot are going to cash in and we'll get some money back from them, but they do have to travel pretty much the length of the island to get to the cash-in point. Yep, have another one. Set line. Outlands Elder. Right, that's 5 of them. Do we think 5 is enough? We were running like... I'm pretty sure we were running 9. I could probably do a count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We were running 9. I know, I'm pretty amazed I got that right too, but I did, and therefore, hush. So running those 9, and we've replaced them with faster and more capacity. Feels good. Also, this tram just used my little turnaround corridor that I left for it. Those of you who are thinking it was redundant, you're wrong. It wasn't. Good. No. Right. I think that's possibly enough. 5 of them should be sufficient once they space out some, and once the passengers get used to the idea of the terrifying speed that is represented by 20 kilometers an hour. And that will take us to the end of the show for today, because the show has to end at some point, and that point is now. It looks good. I like these clunky little things. A barely concealed steam engine going on there in the middle. Don't give way to anyone. Just mow them down. You are responsible for the survival of my company, and to that end, give no credence to the right of way of passengers. There's no. Don't give any quarter. Mow them down and then charge them double for having to clean the paintwork afterwards. That'll learn them. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. By the time we re-emerge into this series, I will be solvent again, or at least I will be solvent sufficiently that we can build something exciting next time around. Obviously, your definition of excitement may vary, but trust me, you're gonna love it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. The series is new, and therefore it's thrilling. There you go. How much are you going to make from this? Go on, pop your numbers. No, too late. Well, you made $2,000. That's not bad for a first run out. Only 4 on board. That's a little bit disappointing. Come on, they're loaded. Clear off. We're done. I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. Well, yes. Not necessarily the most riveting thing I could have showed you today, but hey, we got a tram going. That's something. Oddly satisfying, I think, is how I would sum up this kind of behaviour, where you are on the knife edge of will we stay solvent or not, and the answer is yes, we will. There was never any doubt, actually, because worst case scenario, you sell everything, and then you go back to or you sell everything apart from your majorly profitable routes, and dig your way back out of the hole. The only real downside to it is that you end up burning through quite a bit of time, and it's really challenging to actually make that work, particularly on this map. Were the landscape just a little bit flatter, we'd be able to connect up many more train lines for the same money as we've spent so far. And train lines really are the way to make good solid cash very, very quickly, unless you can get the carts working. Of course, my carts aren't working optimally either, because they're so slow when going uphill. What are you going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to persist, because that is why I'm here. Yeah, the other thing I could do, I could close the Zion line entirely. I don't want to. I want to keep that going. But I should have enough cash to do 300, 400 grand's worth of something in the next episode. So do stick around and we'll see what we make of that. Yeah.